Hello again. Welcome back to our September 2024 review of activity within the Achievement Hunters Inc. Discord server.
We've got some new areas to cover, so let's get started.
Next, we are going to cover upcoming Steam sales. For the month ahead, we have the turn-based RPG Fest on from now until the 7th, and Steam Screamfest 3 between the 28th of October to the 4th of November.
Moving on, we are going to talk about Completion of the Week. We have spoken to each Completion of the Week winner to get their thoughts and feelings on winning this title, and here is what they had to say. For September 2nd, Hillis won with Trove. They said Trove is a special completion to me because it was a game that I played a lot when I was growing up. It was fun to go back and play it again after so long. As for a tip when you would start, I would make sure to work on the gem quest first, and to make sure that you are leveling your gear crafting as it is the best source of gear. After that, I would focus on getting more characters, as the more you have, the faster the stellar gem achievements will go. That begins the long grind to Geode 100, and if anybody wants more tips or any help, they are free to ping me in the server. For September 10th, we had Boss Virus winning with the casting of Frank Stone. When we asked for his opinion, he said this was a buggy mess. I got it done, but I do not recommend anyone wasting their time or money on it. And for September 17th, we had Larry with Just Cause 2. He said Just Cause 2 is special because it's a game I played a ton when I was younger, and now I'm able to finally 100% it, so that is pretty cool. When asked what tip they would provide, he said to max out the machine gun upgrades and the Pelt Silverbolt jet upgrades as soon as humanly possible, since the enemies are slightly unfair in the hardest difficulty. For September 23rd, it was Seldamuk with Max Payne 3. Surprisingly enough, they had just joined the server a week prior, so that was quite the entrance to make. When we spoke to him about Max Payne 3, he said, I played this game for the first time on my brother's Xbox 360 when I was so insanely young that I shouldn't have even been playing games with such violence in it. I loved every minute of the gameplay loop, even though back then I didn't even speak English, and certainly not Portuguese, which the characters speak in the game. I played this on PC last year and thought about, why not, let's go for that 100%. I thought the multiplayer achievements would be trash, but to be honest, even after completion, I will stay for playing the multiplayer. It has a small community, but I met some good guys along the way. And a tip for anyone to trying out this game, don't give up on the Deathless Run, even though your game will have issues. Thanks, Rockstar. And lastly, on September 30th, we had Chazi come in with Deep Rock Galactic. When we asked him what he enjoyed about the game and any tips he'd share, this is what he had to say.
Deep Rock Galactic is my longest completion by a wide margin, and it's one I've been chipping away at since 2020. It's a game that I wouldn't have been able to finish without the help of friends and community alike, and it's easily the crown jewel of my collection. Look for double XP missions every time. They're a precious resource. Also, don't be afraid to just ask a party of randoms if you need a specific achievement. Odds are they're more than happy to help. From the bottom of my heart, Rockin' Stone.
We are now going to move on to the bounties section. We currently have 2 outstanding bounties. They are I Am Bread, sponsored by Gems, and Tricky Towers, sponsored by Geza. Next up, we want to start a news section discussing newly released games. I'm going to hand it over to Exodia to talk about Space Marine 2.
Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 is a sequel to 2011's Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, came out in the middle of last month, September. This is a third-person melee/shooter set within the 40k universe, and sees you taking on the role of Titus, a lieutenant, former captain, within the Ultramarines, while he faces off against the following enemies: the Tyranids, an extragalactic insectoid race who seek only to consume, think like the aliens in Starship Troopers, the forces of Chaos, traitors to the Imperium of Man, and even his own battle brothers. The stain of heresy runs deep and dark. In my opinion, this is a must-buy for any fan of 40k or sci-fi melee/shooter games. It consists of 50 achievements broken down across 3 different game modes: the campaign, which is also co-op, PvE, which is co-op, and PvP. It is currently selling at £54.99, however it's cheaper on CD keys. For those curious around the 100%, it personally took myself 52 hours, however the Steam Hunters medium is 68.5. There are only really two grindy achievements, one for killing 20,000 enemies and another for 41,000. However, there are enough grind locations to make it less daunting and more tedious. If anyone is interested in a deeper dive on this, let me know and we will work on a video. Moving on, we have our user spotlight. This week, we spoke to Milky and asked him the following questions. Why do you hunt achievements? Achievement hunting gives a unique satisfaction with playing games, and you always feel like you're getting closer to a big goal, which multiplayer games especially have an issue with in the sense that the goal is to win and get better, but that fluctuates. Achievements are permanent and help you do that, while completing a side objective, and it adds a great sense of depth that otherwise wouldn't exist. What's your favourite game or genre of games to achievement hunting, we asked. Milky replied, I like single player games that aren't too long to complete, but a good enough amount of time and skill to feel pride in 100%ing. What are you currently working on, we asked. Dead by Daylight almost exclusively, Milky stated. It's a terrible addiction, but completing it will be my biggest feat yet. Finally, we asked Milky if they were excited for any upcoming game in particular. Milky advised the Silent Hill 2 remake, stating he's never tried out the series, but it looks beautiful.
Final area to cover is, as always, a little slice of life from your hosts. What are we currently working on at the moment, you may ask? Having finished Space Marine 2 in the last month and Castle Crashers a few days ago, Exodia will be working on Coromon. This is a modern take on the classic monster taming genre. A fun twist on Pokemon-like games that is individual enough to stand on its own. Additionally, living up to his namesake, he will be working on Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Based on the hit card game series, this game allows you to relive iconic duels from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe and contains a staggering 10,000 cards. I myself am currently working on Satisfactory with some friends as the 1.0 update came out recently and added achievements to the game. I also just started the grind on the Dragon Quest X MMO, and it's been a very fun time so far on the trial version.
And that wraps up this instalment of the AHI Month in Review. Would you like to be featured as next month's user spotlight? Do you have any suggestions for areas you want to see covered? Have you got any feedback for us? Please reach out to either myself or Dr. J to talk about these further. Goodbye from me, and as always, happy hunting.
Until next time, may RNGesus bless your grinds.